You voted, and here's the results of last week's episode. We asked if you believed in aliens. 75% of you voted that they are real.
Hey guys, this is Rick.
Hey, it's Ian here. We're back with another episode of
Into the Abyss.
Today we're going to be talking about the mystery of the black-eyed children.
That's right. And you guys are going to help us figure out whether these little demon spawn are real.
Or just misunderstood.
The black-eyed children, though their origins unknown, have been examined and talked about for years. What are they exactly? Nobody can say. But their appearance has been verified and made known that they are children, or seem to be very young at age. But human? That is the question.
They have been perceived as aliens, demons, and even vampires who exhibit supernatural tendencies.
They are pale. Their skin almost as white as sheets with black eyes. Their eyes are described as either completely black, meaning no sclera, iris, or pupils, or they have no eyes at all. Their faces bear two dark holes where their eyes at one time rested, or never did at all. They speak, but not too often. Their voices droned in a monotone timbre, but their laughs are high-pitched and giggly, perfectly imitating the emoting of a happy child.
And when they do speak, it's only for one specific reason: to get into your house and kill you.
The story of these children popped up in the late 90s in an email written by Brian Bethel that was later spread online. It reads as follows.
It was 1996 when I was on my way to pay an internet bill at a local provider's office. I pulled over near a movie theater, using the marquee's light to write a check. It was in this moment that a knock came tapping on my window. I looked up to see two young boys with hooded sweatshirts covering their faces. I was suddenly paralyzed with fear. One boy, who seemed to be the leader of the two, rushed forward, pressing his face against my window. And that is when I saw that he had no eyes. And the other boy, who stood silently behind him, had none either. If they had eyes, they lacked any substance. They were just large swatches of pitch black with no life in them whatsoever. I froze in my car as the leader asked if they could have a ride to their mother's house. They wanted money to see a movie at the nearby theater, they said. The boy seemed sweet at first, then I became more afraid. Both of the boys trembling. The leader said, "We can't come in unless you tell us it's okay. Let us in." I drove away as fast as I could, glancing one more time behind me. But the boys were gone, completely disappearing from sight.
Another account follows a young teenager in California.
It was one of the first times in a while that his mother had left him home alone. It was a stormy afternoon. The teenager was already feeling uneasy when a knock was heard at the front door. When he opened it, a young boy was standing on his front porch, alone and wearing sunglasses. When questioned the boy on why he was there, the boy replied he was simply selling chocolates for his school. The teenager said he did not have the money to buy any, but the boy on his porch did not leave.
Can I borrow your phone? I need to call my mom to have her pick up the chocolate before it's ruined.
The teenager looked at the boy again, but did not see any chocolate, any boxes, or anything in the boy's hands at all. It was then that the teenager realized his hand was involuntarily moving towards his front door, about to let the boy in, as though he was entranced. He stopped himself and told the pale boy,
"No, please leave."
It was then that the boy removed his sunglasses and revealed his dark, cavernous eyes. He emitted a high-pitched shriek, which frightened the teenager to slam the door. When the teenager looked back through the peephole, the black-eyed child was gone.
Tons of reports were released on these bizarre encounters, many of which were all too similar. But were any of these events actually something to be frightened of? Investigators never found any evidence after these claims were made that anything of note ever happened, and no video or audio evidence has been released.
None that have proven the existence of the children, but some that does give compelling evidence. Like this one here, from 2015. A car accident in which childlike figures are seen in the distance, and their eyes completely missing.
Whether or not this footage is a black-eyed child or just a heroin addict in a hoodie, it's still creepy. And maybe that's all this story is, something unusually creepy. A lot of times people get so excited by the idea of something supernatural that they let their mind take control and they think of these creepy characters and horrendous stories just to entertain themselves. And sometimes that's a little more creepy than some kids selling chocolate. Is it time for us to buy into the fantasy or just buy a candy bar?
Imagination or not, weird things happen, and a lot of the times, unexplainable things happen. Here's a story.
When the Native Americans first saw Christopher Columbus's ship in 1492, it was written in text that the natives saw a giant sea monster, and others claimed to have seen a towering god approaching their land. Now, of course, we know it was just a ship today, but what later happened to the Native Americans can only be described as a tragedy. Now, how is that applicable?
What do our eyes actually see? Our brains are only picking up what it can understand. So is it possible that our minds cannot fathom a soulless, leeching entity that lurks in the deepest reaches of your mind? Is it possible that there's always something more than what we see? And is it a possibility that this is why the black-eyed children see no more?
Let's decide.
Now, I personally still believe that it could be true, given the lack of evidence, and some of the pictures do look kind of cheesy, but I mean, in all faith things of this show, I'm gonna have to say real.
Well, I'm gonna have to say with what I've seen, the footage we've reviewed, all of the evidence we've gone over, it's just not enough. It seems like it could be tampered with. It seems like anyone could have just thrown this idea together and said, oh, the black-eyed children. So I'm just saying fake. Hey guys, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. We just got over 100 subscribers before we released this episode. So thank you so much for keeping it real and for always supporting.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. And if you liked what you saw, don't forget to hit the bell so that you can be notified for when more videos just like this one come out.
Leave a comment and let us know what you think of the video, whether it's fake, real, or undecided, and we'll post those results so everyone can see what you believe.
That's right. Don't forget to send us any myths or stories that you might like to see us cover.
Also, follow us on our social media so that you can keep looking out.
And we'll keep looking in.